away, Charlie.
What's going on, man? You know what it is. It's the Charlie Newhart Show. Like and subscribe if you like real content. If not, just get off now. Okay? Because the real, everybody can't handle the real. You know, you might enjoy fake. You might be a weirdo. Just get off. I only want real subscribers, man. Hit the like button if you're real. If not, just get off. I don't understand the people that got the energy to leave a negative comment. I just get off. But I'll take the negative comments if you want to leave them.
Thank you for that interaction.
I appreciate the interaction. Leave it. I just think your cell phone number and address should be next to all sketchy comments. But leave them. I love the interaction. I love what the videos is doing, the shorts, everything, man. I appreciate y'all. This is the soft intro. I don't like that word, soft. This is the
Flaccid intro?
Flaccid? This is the teaser. This is the teaser intro. I'm going to talk about Romulus in Detroit. I got into an interesting exchange with somebody online. Like, man, this nigga ain't even from Romulus. This nigga ain't even from Detroit. He's from Romulus. Yeah, I'm from Romulus, nigga. It's a city that's 30 minutes away from Detroit. And sometimes I'm just lazy, especially when you get out of Michigan. Just tell you I'm from Detroit. I lived the first 21 years of my life in Romulus. And then I moved to Detroit, so I tell niggas I'm from. It's just lazy. I've just been lazy. I'm gonna get into that a little bit. Why it even matters.
Is it lazy though? Because do you really feel like explaining geography to every motherfucker you meet? Oh
my God. You know what? I think what took me there one time is I was just like, yeah, I'm from Romulus. The nigga was like, where's that in Michigan? It's like it's actually when you fly into Detroit, you're not flying into Detroit. You're flying into a city called Romulus, which is 30 minutes. Like when niggas fly into LA, you ain't flying into LAX. Nigga, that shit's in Inglewood. You know what I'm saying? So it's Romulus and what you fly into. And I was 5 minutes into this explanation, like, why am I here? There's so much other shit I could be doing. Nigga, I'm from Detroit. You know what I'm saying? So this is part of it's lazy. Part of it, nigga, I just don't even really give a fuck, man. I know some lame ass niggas from the hood, like, when it's time for the smoke, and I'm not saying everybody, but your geography really doesn't determine your gangster, your geographic location. Because I know niggas from the hood, when it's time to activate, them niggas was like, please, I don't want none.
The immortal, I don't want none.
The immortal, I don't want none. I'm not saying, it's just, you know, there's some tough niggas from the hood. There's some soft ones too, dog. Did y'all know? It's funny, man. A lot of entertainers that people look up to that claim Detroit, niggas is nerds. Like, this is a school called Martin Luther King and then Renaissance and all these schools. Like, you got to maintain a 3.5 grade point average to be at these schools. These niggas be in Juilliard, damn near, in high school. And then they get out and claim Detroit. Like, these niggas was the weirdest, softest, smallest, lamest niggas in high school. But niggas was from Detroit. I just wish y'all would quit with that narrative that your geography determines your gangster.
No,
so,
leave it, please.
Leave it?
Leave it.
Oh, okay.
Please.
We'll leave it there.
You know
yeah, if you're from the hood, man, you just automatically are. Just, you know what I'm saying?
You know how many times that's been useful?
Well, you just shout out a location like, nigga, I'm from the east side.
No, not even, I don't have to say anything. Just people know. When I was in the Navy, you know how many people were scared of me just because I was from LA?
Straight up?
Like, fucking, like, scared of me. Like, these people would have shotguns and be scared of me.
That's fucking hilarious. See, I'm the nigga that would have tested it. Like, man, I need to test this gangster and see what it is. And even if I get whooped, I at least need to see. I'm a habitual edge walker. I don't want to believe what everybody else is saying. Like, man, that nigga Langston, that nigga from L.A. Well, let me go see.
But that's how I pick my friends.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, oh, you're about some real shit. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
you can roll with me.
I got to test the waters. Like, man, it's almost like the biggest, loudest motherfucker in the room. I'm always, you know, to a certain degree trying to challenge that nigga. Or in my mind, I'll be like, what if it's like if I just slap this whole ass nigga?
Okay.
See what he do. I'm
not that bold normally.
Yeah.
I mean, unless I've been drinking tequila.
Right. I just slap this nigga. And I'm not saying I always do, but I'm like, what if I create a confrontation and I end up putting hands on this nigga? What happened? And then if I get whooped, I get whooped. But then at least I find out like, oh, that nigga, yeah, nigga was that guy.
He's about it.
5th grade. I got the dog shit beat out of me in 5th grade by Richard Covert at Barth Elementary in Romulus. And because I tested this gangster. Tested it. He was a big white boy. He was talking all this shit, man. And he was on the playground. And I don't know. I just didn't like the swag. So I was like, let me test it. Let me just test it. I need to see. And I started some shit with Richard. And I swung on him. You know what I'm saying? I swung on him. I cracked him one good time. And this big corn-fed white boy ate this punch. Looked at me. Nigga, and it was the winter time, so I had a coat on and a skull cap like this. This nigga Richard charged me, dog. Pulled my skull cap down over my face and started filling me up with rights and lefts.
Well, it sounds like he was on the local hockey team.
Oh my God, nigga. I was just eating them bitches like all I could see was white because my head, and I didn't even have the wherewithal to pull my skull cap up. My shit's still down and he's just filling me, and I'm just, all I can remember at some point is being like, please stop. Please. I hit the canvas, the whole 9. And I get up, man, niggas is laughing at me, man. My nose is bloody. And I'm just like, that nigga, he was what he said he was. And I found out I got dog walked by Richard Covert in the 5th grade in Romulus, which is 30 minutes from Detroit. It's where the airport is. You whole ass niggas.
Gotta put a map on this.
Yeah. Always been a wild nigga, man. My whole life. We're gonna talk about how I turned into Heisenberg when I got cancer. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what made me crazy. I had a traumatic experience. I got cancer when I was really young, and it just turned me from this nerd to this unruly nigga. I shot on the wrong rim in 7th grade at Romulus Junior High and made it too. I cashed out in the game. Yeah, I was a power dork, 7th grade. Nigga, I remember catching the ball. I was standing on the free throw line. Well, I wasn't on the free throw line. I was like on the block. They were shooting free throws, the other team. Nigga, I got the rebound. And in my mind, I was playing 21. That's all I played in the hood. Nigga, I cashed out. All I can remember, I remember hearing my coach saying, "Charlie, no!" when the ball was coming out of my hand, "Charlie, no!" Whew. Like, damn, I done made the basket on the wrong rim, dog. Nigga, I got murdered at school the next day, dog. Destroyed. I ain't nobody special, man. I'm just a blue-collar square that got a good balance of failures and successes, man.
I have the dubious honor of being one of the only people to injure female players.
Ooh, in what?
Soccer.
Purposely? Oh, we can either confirm or deny.
It wasn't on purpose, but everybody wants to be treated equally, right?
Absolutely.
That's what Title IX is there for, right?
That's
so you get treated equally, right?
Yes, indeed.
So don't come to my area when I'm defending. You're not ready for it. I don't know what else to say.
Straight up. That's how I feel when I be hooping and there's females on the court. I'm going to guard you just like a nigga. I'm all up on them buns. Check up. What up? I'm all the way in. Like, oh, you want this work? Let's get it. We're going to talk a little bit about colorism. I got an idea for a social experiment for entitled and arrogant white men. I think they should take a shot to become black and then have to move to Flint for a year. Shit would be, you guys, just so you can understand the black experience, because I'm looking at some of these comments from that reparations video, and it's hilarious. Like, you guys are always asking for stuff. It's not coming out of my paycheck. That's the type of white person that get pulled over by the police and be like, I pay your salary. Man, if I said that, man, them niggas will lump me up so fast. They'll lump me up like Richard Covert did.
Shout out Richard, man.
Shout out Rich Covey, man. He dog walked me.
He made his hockey coach proud.
Yeah, he probably did. Like, and what else did you do? Did you right hook that nigga or what? Fucking prick. I bet he won't ask for reparations again, will he? Covert dog walked me. I can't lie. I ain't gonna lie. I haven't won every single fight in my life, but I won more than I lost. But I'm willing to fight.
Hey, I got dog walked and went back and asked for more. So
See, this nigga, that's white boy vibe right there, dog. I would hate, no, honestly, I would love to see you fight because you one of them ones that would just never, nose bloody, nigga bloody, would like, fucking come on. Is that all you got? Like, yeah, I'd pay to see you fight. Absolutely, dog. I want to thank my new subs, man. I appreciate y'all. I done got, 3,000-4,000 new subs in the last month. I just, listen, man, I appreciate y'all. I ain't nobody special. I'm just a blue collar square from Romulus. That's where the airport is when you fly in. Flying to Detroit. I'm just a blue collar Ford assembly line square who took a couple risks, some chances. Now I'm out here in California. I ain't nobody special. I just love telling crazy real stories about my life because I took a shit ton of chances. Now I got stories, and apparently stories is currency. So I'm going to keep sharing them with y'all, and ain't none of it cap. If you look up, and everybody keeps saying, who is this guy? It just I hate saying this shit, man, but I'm going to have to. If you just go to Google, type in my name, you'll see I've got a few acting credits, few things, you know. I kind of represent the small percentage of people who came to California and actually succeeded at a few things. So, but honestly, at the end of the day, who I am and what I do is two totally different things. I don't worship that. So I got a really interesting perspective because I've seen a lot. I've been through a lot. So that's who I am. But just go to Google and just type in, let's see what this fucking prick, what's he all about? Charlie Newhart.
For the people that it's hard for, Charlie, well, give us a 10-second rundown.
10-second rundown.
For the kids at home.
I born and raised in Romulus. That's where the airport is. Where you flying?
I flew there once.
You flew there once? When you say you're flying into Detroit, you're actually flying into Romulus. That's where I was born and raised. First 21 years of my life. Had cancer at a really young age. Turned me into Heisenberg. And I took some risks, some chances, but I worked on the assembly line, wrote down some goals, took a buyout, flipped a bunch of houses and cars and a few other things. And yeah, man, my family owned a used car lot in Southwest Detroit. We made millions over there. But ultimately I was doing that and pursuing acting and comedy. And I landed a role on Chicago Fire yeah, it was dope. I landed a role on Chicago Fire while I was running the family car lot and flipping houses at the same time. So I'm just the kind of dude that believes in fighting with two hands. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe you got to be a starving artist, especially if you got a wife and kids, man. Don't quit your job and have everybody struggling just because you want to be a rap artist and you 43, you done heard a Jeezy song and you like, nigga, I'm about to start rapping, nigga. And you done quit your job and it's like, you know, I lived that too. Like I took my ex-wife kind of through a bit of a tough time for about a year or two where I was just like, I'm pursuing my art. And she carried the load for a little while. So it's way more than 10 seconds, but that's a little bit about me. You know what I'm saying? I fight with two hands. I believe you can hustle and go after your craft at the same time. And gratefully, God opened up some doors for me because one of my favorite proverbs is, in all labor, there is profit. Work at it, write down some goals. You can accomplish some things. And now, you know, I'm in my garage, nigga, 3 cameras, talking to Langston and talking to y'all about real shit because I just got kind of disgusted about some of the shit that I saw here. Like, these niggas is y'all influencers? Y'all be listening to these niggas, man, with 0 accomplishments? They just winning off being consistent? They some hoe-ass gatekeepers in real life? Y'all listen to these niggas? Okay, it's time. It's time. So that's why I got my own show at the Laugh Factory in Long Beach. You know what I'm saying? You can come out. I hire the comedians. You know a comedian, you can holler at me that wants to get some stage time. Like, I'm tired of hoe-ass gatekeepers. So if I'm tired of it, I'm just going to work to be one. But not a hoe-ass gatekeeper, but a real one. From Detroit, Romulus, where the airport is.
So you mean that time that I flew there and then I was driving to the other place, I was actually driving west and not north. See, I'm not.
So when you flew in, you were leaving the city of Romulus and you passed through Inkster and then Dearborn on your way to Detroit. Well, maybe not Inkster. You passed through, you definitely went through Dearborn and you headed to Detroit. So, hey, that's the teaser. The real's coming.
Give it up for Charlie Newhart. Come on.
What up? We back. Okay, so I want to start doing a Q&A. If you want to send some questions in, you can go to askcharlienewhart@gmail.com. Askcharlienewhart@gmail.com. I do a little Q&A. If you got some real questions and shit, if it's weird shit, I'm going to just ignore it. This is the commercial portion of the show. Source Trucking Academy. SourceTruckingAcademy.com. A lot of these schools around here is charging $8,000, $9,000, $6,000, $7,000. Source Trucking is $3,800 to get your Class A. It's a dope school in Corona. I actually went there myself when Hollywood got weird and everything shut down. And then they was telling me that I needed to get a shot just to audition. And when it got weird, I went to trucking school, got my CDL, and I'm so glad that I did. And Cody and the whole team over there at Source Trucking is the real deal. So if you're looking for a school, and they also offer no credit check financing. So you can go to school, be done in as little as 2 weeks. Source Trucking Academy. So check them out. It's a good deal. SourceTruckingAcademy.com. Talked about shooting on the wrong rim. Romulus. I had a 3.8 grade point average, dog.
That's pretty good.
I was 3.8, and I wore glasses. I had a Gumby. I had a receding hairline still, but yeah, my forehead's always been huge. But I had 3.8 grade point average, man. I was getting it.
I barely graduated.
I had 3.8 grade point average in junior high. Let's just be real, junior high. And but once I got cancer at like 15. Literally, like that whole transition in Breaking Bad of Walter White turning into Heisenberg when he got cancer, that literally was me at 15. I was playing all these sports, even though I shot on the wrong rim in basketball, but eventually I ended up getting it together with sports. I was a beast in football. So at the height of my athletic career, when I was really like coming into my own, I had this lump like I was taking a shower. And my groin and the side, all my side, everything was hurting. I told my mom, like, man, something's not right, man. I don't really like how I feel. They told me I had cancerous tumors attached to my lymph nodes and my groin and all of my thigh and on my side. And I immediately had to stop playing all sports. It crushed me. And they told me I had to have surgery. And my grandmother had went through cancer surgery. And she was just like, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. I told y'all the story before. I didn't really believe. I went to church, but I don't necessarily say that I just fully believed. But I know that my grandmother and all my family prayed for me. And I went to lay down on the table to get operated on. And when they was giving me the anesthesia, I was halfway in, halfway out. I had this out-of-body experience. I saw myself on the table, and I saw rows of angels standing around me. And I mean that, and it was so real even to this day. That's kind of what solidified my journey on to becoming like a real believer. And I still got stuff that I'm working on. I ain't perfect, but those angels that I saw was real. And Jesus healed me. I had 2 surgeries, 8 months of chemo. I had a tube in like a port in my chest that went to my heart. I had to go to U of M hospital, every week. But God healed me. But that traumatic experience, we don't really have the wherewithal in the black community sometimes to put our children in therapy when they go through traumatic experiences. You know what I'm saying?
Therapy is looked at very negatively.
It is. It's like, nigga, just go to church. Like,
yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, I don't know about that whole go to church thing.
Yeah, like and that's cool, but you need more. We need to. Going to therapy is dope because you get an opportunity to sit down with somebody who's been trained to help you organize your thoughts. You got all these thoughts going through your head. There was so much stuff that I was missing out on, or I felt I was missing out on, but I went crazy. I literally went crazy after the whole chemo cancer thing, and I just had no fear. I just didn't care about anything. I remember being in class, dog, in high school, and this is like right at the height of, I think I just had my first surgery. Mm-hmm. and I was in class behind this fat kid named Chris. And his ass was oozing out the back of the chair and shit, man. And I was just like, I'm about to put a lighter up to his ass. Just cook his booty meat. Took a lighter and I'm cooking it. And it took a minute for him to feel it. Like, do this nigga got nerve endings in his ass or what? So I'm cooking this nigga's ass. You could damn near hear it crackling and shit. I was cooking his booty meat and shit. And this motherfucker jumped up, saw the lighter. I can't make this up. This nigga ran up to the teacher in auto shop class. He was like, Mr. Hall, Charlie just put a lighter up to my butt and it's still hot. Feel it. Nigga was like, I'm not feeling your butt, Chris. Go back to your seat, please. Terrorized this nigga. So then he mad, and then when we walk out in the hallway, he got all these words about how I had lit his ass on fire. I just swung on him. I hit him like 2 times in the face. Knocked him down. I got suspended for 3 days. And it's like, for what? Like, I was completely out of my mind. That same class, when the teacher went to the back, it was auto shop class, so he went to the back to do something with a car. While he was in the back, he had a office right off the classroom in front of everybody. I just went to the office door handle and peed on it. Just peed on the door handle. And right when I got done, that motherfucker came back and went to the office door and touched it like, oh my God, what's that? And the whole class bust out laughing. Like, that's the type of ignorant, wild shit I was doing.
So what you're saying is you were a terrorist.
I was a fucking terrorist. I was lost, nigga. I was gone.
Right.
And I was just doing like that trauma remember the story I told you about Mr. Ferdon, my computer-aided design teacher? Nigga was missing a finger. He was missing a whole digit. So when he got up to go to the bathroom, he left class, I went up to the board and wrote a huge hand that was missing a finger like this. And when that nigga came back and looked at it, he was like, very funny. Charlie?
He already knew.
He already knew. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about, dog.
Wait, why does he know it's you already?
Charlie? And he wasn't even looking at me. He was just he looked up at the board and sat down. Very funny. Charlie? It's like, no, I don't know what you're talking about.
Charlie, that's not cool.
That's not cool. I think from like 15 to probably 30, those 15 years, I took so many, I don't even know how I'm alive. I took so many risks. I did so much wild shit because I was off. I was completely gone. That's why I don't profess to be. I ain't a gangster. I'm not a thug. I'm a blue collar square, but I don't have them all. And there's still a piece of that there at times. I remember standing in the hallway of high school, bro. 11th grade, my cousin Gerard would be on the other side. After lunch, we would have these Hostess snacks in our hands and shit, Twinkies and Ho-Hos. Mm-hmm. And underclassmen and shit, people would just walk by, we just smash them on their foreheads. Just a whole Twinkie or Ho-Ho. And if you won't smoke, my cousin would be behind you just to handle it. Or vice versa. If he smashed somebody with a Twinkie in the forehead, then I would be right there. Nigga, after lunch every day. We would shoot dice through lunch every day. I got suspended for shooting dice, I don't know how many times. Shoot dice, smash Twinkies on niggas' foreheads. That sounds like the life. That's in Romulus.
Why are they letting it happen every day?
It'd be a different set of people. Like, what you gonna do? Like, nigga, what you gonna do about it? Like, and my cousin was bigger than me. Like, nigga,
go a different way.
Nigga, we mollywopping you. Nigga, you gotta let it happen.
See,
off. I was off. You would be the one to challenge the shit though. Like,
you know how many times I got my ass chased through the school because I'd run up to niggas and be like, "Fuck you."
Oh yeah.
Catch me.
Oh yeah, nigga. I would chase your ass.
Mm-hmm. Up the stairs. It's like a Benny Hill sketch.
Hell yeah, nigga, I'd have been chasing your ass. Let's get this motherfucker. I probably wouldn't have caught your ass, but I'm saying I still would have chased you. I hated Romulus, man. I think I just hated how slow it was. Once I went through cancer, and my cousins kind of took me out, man. Like all my big homies is pimps, drug dealers, street niggas. You know what I'm saying? And then once, not only am I crazy after the whole cancer chemo, then I got cousins and big homies that's exposing me to this whole underworld. And I'm just, what am I doing out here?
Right.
Nigga, couldn't enjoy high school parties no more. Couldn't enjoy college. I went to Eastern for a minute. And I was just like, why am I out here? What am I doing?
Why couldn't you enjoy college? Were you just too square, kind of just boring, or?
It was too square. Like I went to by this time, man, I had seen all these I had seen so much by the time I went to college, and they took me to this Kappa party or some step party where niggas is stomping and doing shit, and then they took me to the after party, and I was like, wait a minute, so these niggas that sign up for this allow themselves to be whooped on, spit on, and all this shit to be a part of a fraternity so they can stomp around for the hoes? And I fucked 6 bitches last week. What? You know what I'm saying? Like the criminal, the underworld that I had an opportunity to see was way more appealing than this college shit. Like these niggas is stomping around with sticks.
I mean, there's a reason I left college to join the Navy.
Dog. For real. That's are you proud of that decision?
Oh, hell yeah. Because all I was doing in college was getting drunker and fatter, and I wasn't learning anything.
Dog.
So
it ain't for everybody. That's why. So your parents helped. They didn't really push that narrative like you got to go to college to be successful.
Oh, they did.
Okay.
But they were already, their opinion was already irrelevant because I gave up a computer programming job to go to college. So
Really?
I'm already a fucking computer programmer, and they're like, you need to go to college and learn, and I'm like, y'all do realize I literally like I'm already like a baby software engineer like in high school.
You doing it? You were self-taught?
Yeah.
See.
But they were like, you need to go to college, you need to get a degree. So I bought into all of that, left that job. By the way, thanks mom and dad, because they got bought out by Yahoo. So I would have been a Yahoo software engineer if I had just stayed there, but we won't talk about that.
Oh man.
But yeah, so went to college, realized it was useless because all I did was learn from the books, the lectures and all the classes, the rest of that. So like, I just got to learn from the book. What the fuck am I doing here?
Right.
Time for some adventure on the high seas.
Got out there and saw the world.
Something that was a challenge, bro, because it's just like, I mean, that's one thing about me, like, and it's a pro and it's a con. If I get bored, I'm gonna move on.
Yeah.
So it's like, if I'm not engaged and I'm not interested, then I'm just gonna go find something else.
You need hands-on.
I need something that makes my mind, like, churn. Like, if it's just too easy, then it's just like. Wow.
But see, I would rather fuck with that. I'd rather fuck with life experience as opposed to sitting in a class reading a book and then going to see the world, because that by that time, I know so many people that walk around with entitlement and arrogance because I like what 50 Cent said. He said, getting a degree doesn't make you a genius. It just shows that you had the ability to retain enough information to pass a midterm. The fuck does it? No life experience. You know how many niggas I know with degrees and they're the lamest, weirdest niggas on the planet? They don't have no life experience. Like what? The type of shit you saw in the Navy those years. Like, not only was it fun, but you was able to learn, like, I know I won't do that. Even if it was somebody else or something you did, like, oh, okay, but damn, the life experience of it was just, it was conducive to you and your personality.
Yeah, some people are good for the college thing. Some of the rest of us, we need to get out there and bang our heads on the world, you know?
Nigga, I was one of them. I had to go get life experiences. Jobs and testing niggas like Richard Covert and getting dog walked. Like, I had to go. I got to see. Like, I need to test you on the gangster.
I was smart enough not to test those Puerto Ricans in Providence, though.
Oh, man, they was probably routed, and all of them had 6 knives on them at any given time.
I was like, oh, wait, no, I've seen this on Law & Order. I'm good. I don't want
This
this.
nigga said, I seen it on Law & Order.
I don't want that.
Not you, sir. I don't want no smoke. I don't want none.
Well, you know how it is. If you're not in your home territory and you're just like, you're clearly outnumbered, like,
Yeah.
who pushes that?
Like, I don't want this battle. I can see where this is. Like, you know what? I'm outnumbered. That's another thing. I'm not no dumb nigga. If I'm outnumbered, or if I done put myself in a situation and there's sketchy motherfuckers all around me that I know that are with this guy in front of me and that's nobody with me, oh, I'm backing down. I'm talking my way out of it. Like, did that shit in Compton a couple years ago. I was in there with some people and, man, I'm blasted and I'm just kind of doing my thing and I'm all comfortable in this party because there's niggas with me and yada, 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 and find myself in a situation where I'm like, oh, shit. I'm getting into it with a nigga, and I got my fist balled up like, he take one more step, I'm firing on this nigga. And dog, it was damn near like The Matrix, or when you see a movie and you get this panoramic view of everything in the room.
Right.
Dog, when I saw that view, it's a nigga over here with his hand in his backpack. And it's another, and I'm in a house. And then the niggas that I'm with, I don't know where the fuck they at. I was like, oh, shit. None of my niggas is around. This nigga hand his backpack, this, yeah. And I'm just like, I fire on this nigga. Am I going to be able to get out the door? Am I going to be able to duck shots from this nigga? What, dog, and everything. And in the middle of it, I was just like, you know what, let me just use some comedy. So then I started cracking jokes and saying shit, yada. And in the middle of that is when my niggas came out the back, everything kind of diffused. But it was just like, in that moment, I'm like, man, is this going to be a Richard Covert situation?
Shit, I mean, that might be ideal considering how many niggas
For
are
real,
there.
dog, it was bad, bro. I'm like, man, I'm at a gangster party in Compton, and I don't know none of these niggas, and everybody that I'm with, I don't know where they at. And I immediately like, I don't know if I want to get coverted here.
I'm not trying to get colder.
I don't want to get coverted, so it's like, and here's the thing, dog, and I think that's why I realized it, like, I done been in so many fucking fights. And I done probably lost maybe 4 of them out of all the ones I've been in, 3 or 4. But it's them losses is where you learn, like, okay, so where was I off? Where did I fuck up at?
You're over here doing after action
I'm
reports.
thinking
like John Madden, like, oh, this is where you went wrong.
Yeah, that's where you went wrong. You see where you didn't duck here? Or you threw one? I used to have this thing thinking that I could throw one punch and then win the fight.
Oh, you're
'Cause it worked.
Punch man.
Yeah, it worked in a couple times beforehand. I mean, I put everything behind it, knock a nigga out. Didn't work with Covert, though. That nigga ate that punch. You got to keep.
All the fights that I've been in.
You got to keep throwing them, dog. You ever just threw one punch on a nigga? You ever knock somebody out with one punch?
No, because I told you, I don't have hands. Like, I grapple. I'm just gonna grapple
You
your
a grapple
because
nigga.
I'm always generally bigger than most people.
Yeah, I wouldn't
I'm
let you next to me, dog.
I'm not afraid of the pain of getting socked a couple times.
Yeah, there's no way you get hands
I
on
found
me.
that on soccer because I got fucking clocked in the head so many times by balls going like so fucking fast, and I'm just like, all right, what's up? So
Yeah, see, I wouldn't let you grab me at all. I knocked this nigga out in Atlanta one time. One hit. And the nigga, he was snoring in the air on the way down. And I was so blasted. It was all my cousins was with me. We just kept working. We just river danced on this nigga, man. Just river danced on him. And then I'm so blasted that even while he's knocked out, I try to go punch him in the face while he's on the ground and swing and scrape the concrete with my knuckle.
oh, damn.
Blood everywhere. And at this time, I'm so mad. Like, you know what? I got to get paid for this. We're going to bunny ear this nigga's pockets. And we end up getting like $28 in a condom out this nigga pockets and shit.
No fucking a night for you.
No fucking tonight for you, nigga. Black eye ass. Years and years ago, by the way.
Years.
Long ass time ago. I mean, I can't even remember the last time I got into a fight. It's been so long. I'm so straight-laced. Because after all, I'm from Romulus. Tough niggas don't come out of Romulus. Or Inkster. I thought y'all niggas know. Like, Romulus, Inkster, Ypsi, Pontiac. Tough niggas don't come out of that city. It's only Detroit. That's where only Detroit or only LA or only LA. That's where it's only the tough niggas. It ain't no tough niggas in San Bernardino, is it? Or
Fuck around and find out.
what's another? Or Inglewood. It ain't no tough niggas in Pasadena, is it? Fuck around and find out for real. Like, where you from? Nigga be getting stomped like nigga from Pasadena stomped me out.
This wasn't on the brochure.
It wasn't on the brochure. So on the brochure it said it's only tough niggas live in LA. It don't say that, real niggas live in Inglewood too. It don't. Ain't that where the airport is?
Sir, I'd like to refer you to the subsection referring to Dr. Dre and Kendrick Lamar's lyrics.
Dog.
You will catch these hands in Inglewood, and
Nigga.
it's an addendum. It's you got to read everything.
I'm trying to tell you, for real. I was just a nigga that was just completely out of his mind. It didn't really matter where I was from. That cancer shit turned me into a lunatic, nigga. And it's still a piece of that in me to this day. I heard Craig say this on his podcast the other day, and I could totally relate. Where I got PTSD. I done been through so much. Every now and then, man, I just wake up in the middle of the night, 1 a.m, this nigga just load my gun, walk around the house. He said it on his podcast the other day. I was like, fuck, that's the exact same shit that I do. 1 a.m, just walk around the house, nigga. Loaded gun, like, what the fuck's going on, man? I'm looking at shit, man. And then I walk the perimeter of my crib, nigga, like, shoot one of these niggas out here, man. It better not be nobody. And it's never anybody, anywhere, at all. But just in case, nigga, you know.
All right. I am a high-powered attorney, and I only represent billionaires. My time is valuable. I will answer 2 questions, and then I'm out of here. Go ahead. Pete Masterson, LA Times. I understand you represent a lot of NFL owners. How do you feel about the outcry of lack of black owners and black coaches in the NFL? We are going to allow African Americans to sing and dance at halftime. That's it. There's going to be no African American owners and very few African American coaches. All right. That's it. I mean, they should be happy they dancing at halftime. Next question. Asian billionaire Edward Ho recently passed away, and his family is fighting over the estate. Anything you can tell us about that? Let them hoes fight.
I'm talking about some of the crazy shit that I did. I remember I almost shot this nigga over a transmission, dog. This is in the middle of the Heisenberg. I had a Caprice. I've been fucking with old school cars since I was like 15. I've been dropping 350s and 454s and old schools for so long. A lot of it I did myself. My dad helping me out. He's the power mechanic. But I remember I had a Caprice I was racing niggas with. Had the 350 in it. And I fucked up the transmission in it. So I get online to buy a transmission from this dude. And he was kind of sketchy, but he was working out of this junkyard. But he was like, meet me at the Family Dollar parking lot. I'll bring the transmission. So he brought the transmission to me. I get it home. I pull the pan off. All the guts is missing out the transmission. I was like, okay, well, let me just call him and replace it. Maybe it was a mistake. This nigga's not answering my calls. I had a little 38 snub, you know what I'm saying? I just loaded it up like, I'm gonna just shoot this nigga in the leg. The fuck you think? You
Fucking mob.
Like, what the fuck you think? You just like, I'm not gonna kill this nigga. I'm gonna just shoot him in the leg or something, like, just to let him know, like, you can't play. Like, I feel like you do whole shit, you're supposed to get disciplined. And I may be the nigga that's supposed to do it. I'm calling you and you ain't answering your phone. All right, cool. So I waited a few days and called him from another number, and I used my real estate voice. Hey, man, I really interested in, I think I said a motor or something. Like, you got like a 350 core block there that you want to get rid of for X amount of dollars? He was like, yeah. Same thing. He was like, meet me at the Family Dollar parking lot. Sure, on the way. Showing up, man, a black hoodie. You know what I'm saying? A little 38. Man, I rolled up on that nigga, man. And the whole way there, I don't know what the fuck I was listening to, but I'm listening to pregame. Probably Jeezy. Some pregame music. I'm probably listening to Jeezy the whole way there. And I'm visualizing it. Like, this nigga, I'm going to shoot him in his leg. And I'm going to take some of his money. And he's going to be justified. So I get all the way there. And I got my hand in my jacket. And I'm walking up on him. And I couldn't even get a word out. He was just like, I sold you the transmission, right? Yeah. Here. He just gave me my money the whole night. I was just, I was damn near upset because I wanted the other activity. You know what I'm saying?
You were ready for
I was ready to shoot this nigga, man. Pistol whip him, something, and
Understandable.
he took it from me. He took that from me. Whole ass nigga, he took that from me. But then as I got older, now that I'm looking back on that, like, I was fully prepared to go to prison over a transmission. Fully. And you think about, that's the mindset we have sometimes in the hood. It's just like we willing to go all the way there. You cross me? Oh, nigga, what do they say? Wherever you if you demonstrate, I'm gonna activate. Some shit like that, whatever that is. But I was completely ready over a transmission. Now I can't even imagine. Well, I kind of can imagine, but to the extent that I was thinking, brought on my way.
Now you can imagine, but you're not going to be suited up like.
Yeah, I'm not being. I was all black. I did come close though. I did come close last month. As a matter of fact, last month, dog. I was trying to buy this car. You know, I get checks from commercials and TV shows. I try to go buy 5, 6 cars to flip because I always think like Hollywood money ain't gonna last. So let me make it backflip. I got a check from a commercial, and sometimes I buy cars from the auction. Sometimes I buy them from Craigslist or whatever. So reach out to this dude on a site about a car, and I asked him if he had the title. Blah blah blah. And this is the day I'm supposed to do the comedy show in Long Beach. And all the impressions was just relax, don't do anything today. And I'm just like, I get online, it's a car for sale. I asked him if he had the title and everything. I show up, he don't have the title. I went off on him. Man, I drove 30 minutes, man. He wasted my time, blah, 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 you know. And I leave. It's a Hispanic dude. I leave. I look at my text. He said, you wasted my time, nigger. And it's Nigar, like the nigga misspelled it. And that was the first thing as a comedian. Like, I didn't get offended. I laughed at the misspelling of it first. Like, wow, this nigga, if you're going to use slurs, at least spell them correctly. Nigga went and called me a nigger, and then he just said, you know, fuck you, broke nigger. He just kept going. I'm like, oh, this how. And by the time I got all the way back home, nigga, I put all black on. Okay. That's how you feel? Fuck this comedy show. Fuck everything. And then I'm calling people like, this is bail money, just in case. You know, this is where the money is at the house and yada, yada, yada. And I'm completely suited up. Everything needed to take care of business. And I jumped in the whip. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, motherfucker, you had me meet you at your job. You fucking kidding me, bro? Nigga, I was in the car for 5 minutes, bro. And then I know it was the Holy Spirit. Just like, turn around. Go back home. You got a comedy show tonight. You got kids. You gonna make the news. That's the thing. Like, I know I ain't perfect, but I know I got a relationship with God. And I know when I hear his voice, I'm like, let me turn around. And people don't know that whole fuck around and find out thing is real. Like, my man probably had no clue what was about to happen to him. Well, in the middle of all these reckless ass text messages, nigga, I show up at your job, dog. I'll beat your motherfucking ass on your job. I had nigga, I was 5 minutes in. I don't know if I had Jeezy playing or not, but I had the whole image in my head, nigga, and that's the thing. There's a part of me that's still off.
It's still off.
I'm gone, dog. I'm just like I said, I'm not no gangster. I'm not no thug. I ain't the hardest nigga in the world, but I'm just off. I'm just completely off.
You're telling that to a guy who owns a katana sword, so
this nigga owns swords. That's how you get niggas to back off you. You get nigga, you pull a sword on a nigga like. I promise you, if I got an intent to run up on you and do harm, and you pull out a sword, I'm just turning around.
Oh yeah,
I'm just turning around.
Many have.
Because the problem is, I think one of my problems is I don't think people are crazier than me. But if I see that, if I walk up on you and you standing out there with a sword talking shit, come on, motherfucker, I'm back to the whip. Like, you know what, man? Maybe we got a misunderstanding.
I had some dude that was beating on his chick with a bat, like outside of my house, and he started trying to run up on me. And I just opened the garage door with that sword, like, come on, and he just went back to his car, and drove away.
Oh yeah, that'll get me off the ledge quick.
I will cut you
because I ain't never seen no shit like that. I think that's what it made me. I done seen somebody. I never forget this dude. I ran this stop sign in Inkster. I talked about this story before. I ran this stop sign. An old man was in the street staring at me like, you ran the stop sign. And I stabbed on the gas. And this motherfucker went over to the side. And as I drove by, he hit my windshield with a rake and shattered the windshield. And I got out the car and I knocked his whole ass down. I pushed him and snatched the rake and I'm about to pop his ass. And then this fat motherfucker runs out the house. That's my dad, man. He got his hand behind his back. Back off. Okay, well, let's see. Like, I ain't never had a gun drew on me before. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker, and I was just like, you ain't got shit behind your back, you fat motherfucker. Let's see it. Man, I don't have nothing, man. Just let my dad go, please. So I'm going to try you on that shit. I'm going to try you on your gangster. But if you show up to me with a fucking sword, I don't have to try you. You're insane. I don't know.
It just sets a precedent. Like,
you got me thinking I might need a sword. Just show up like me, what?
Dude, I don't think I've ever had. Well, there was only one dude who thought who told me it was fake. And I was like, oh really? Now that it's out, I'm technically not supposed to put it back until it's drawn blood. So come on.
Right. This nigga hit me with he got the whole ninja tail behind it. Like, I can't put it back unless
Because I learned this in the military. If you hit people fast enough with shock and awe and make them really reconsider what the fuck it is they're about to get into, you can avoid the conflict entirely. So it's about a show of force saying, I'm ready to go there.
Damn.
Are you ready to possibly incur what's going to happen if you continue down this path?
Damn.
You know, granted, I'm not a fleet with a bunch of fucking jets and shit, but the principle still applies.
No, I respect that. No, I totally respect that. I'm thinking about instances with, like, when my dad owned the car lot, I went through the whole process of getting a CPL, like a permit to carry a pistol. And in Detroit, it ain't hard. It ain't hard to get one.
Like out here, where it's like fucking impossible.
That's impossible out here. Impossible. But in Detroit, I mean, you know, it's fairly easy. So I had a CPL, and then I had a 40 on my waist pretty much at all times because we was handling cash. We was over in the hood, and everybody was strapped. My dad, my brother, everybody. Man, we had artillery in the motherfucking car lot, nigga. We had enough.
Howitzers in the back.
Oh man, we could have started a war in that motherfucker, man. And I'll never forget, man. I sold a car to a dude. And a month later, the tire blew on the car when he was on the freeway, and his wife was driving. And he came back to bring the car back like it was my fault that the tire blew out. Man, and he was talking all reckless and shit, man. And I'm in there. My daughter was, like, the whole family worked there. My daughter was in there, and I think it was just her. My cousin was in there too. But this nigga, man, he come in with 3-4 niggas, and man, you sold me, tire blew out. Why you ain't tell? Like, dog, tires ain't got, the motor and trans is solid. Tires ain't got nothing to do, man. I apologize that happened. But it's like, I knew him through somebody else. And he was like, such and such recommended me. And so just on the strength to try to just kill it, I just pulled out a $50 bill. Like, here, bro, this for the tire. 50 or 100, I don't know what it was. I was like, man, just go replace the tire.
You made an outreach.
I tried to make an outreach. Apologize that happened, man. But in my heart, I was like, you bitch ass nigga, the tire blew. That ain't got shit to do with me. But I won't repeat business. Hey, man, go apologize that happened, man. I know a good tire shop down the street. This nigga didn't want to fuck with my money. He wanted smoke. Man, motherfucker, yeah. Nigga, I just stood up. And then, because one of his homeboys stood up, started walking closer to my desk. Nigga, I just stood up and just let that 40 hang. Like, nigga, I'll shoot you niggas in here, man. The fuck you think this is? I just tried to make it right with you. And then that's that part of me that just went off. Like, now I tried to make it right. Now, y'all, I'm feeling threatened. I'll shoot all you motherfuckers in here and then wait on the police to come through like I felt threatened, officer. But did you have to shoot all of them? Yes. Every last one of these niggas. So I stood up and I let the 40 hang like, dog, and I'm quick on this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And I'm looking at all these niggas like, well, what's up, dog? I just tried to make the shit right. Tired, and then now everything inside of me that I wanted to say, it's coming out. Tires ain't got shit to do with me. Motherfucker, I just tried to offer you the money, nigga. Now, if you would have came in here talking about motor blue or trans or any of that, I understand, nigga. But now you in here threatening me over some tires, nigga. What the fuck y'all niggas want to do? Look, man, you know, I just want bitch ass nigga, that's what I thought. Now, if I'm activating, now I'm turned up. When I was the real estate Charlie, look, guys, here's the $100. I just want to make it right. You know what I'm saying? When I want to try to sell you a condo, everything's cool. But now I feel threatened, and then now I turn up and show y'all niggas that I'm prepared to dance. Because I ain't afraid of shit. Dying, getting shot, none of that shit. I done seen it all. No, man, I just wanted to say, man, I just didn't appreciate that, man. That motherfucker ended up taking that money, though, to get that tire. Whole ass nigga.
Like this chick yelled at him to the point he felt like he had to do something.
No
grown ass man goes back to another like dude. You're like, oh man, their tires. Man, like in what universe are tires like not like something that just a month later, nigga? And you trying to hold me responsible for the tire? Like, nah, that's your chick gassing you up and you trying to look hard.
Damn.
That's what that is,
nigga.
Because you
absolutely
said his chick
right.
was driving too, right?
Yes, that's what it was. She put the fire into his ass, so he was just like, I gotta fight for my baby's honor. And then tell her what happened. I wonder if he told her how I stood up and bossed up on all them niggas. Like,
no,
man,
he probably said, I got some money for that.
Jeb, you know what I did? I told that whole ass nigga that, you know what I'm saying? He gave me $100, man. You know what I'm saying? And then we walked out of there. It took 4 of y'all to go get $100 for a tire.
How much after expenses you had to pay these?
You know what I'm saying? Nigga, I went to go get that transmission fixed by myself, nigga. With a pistol. Whole ass nigga.
Man, that just sounds ridiculous.
But again, you know, I ain't no gangster. I'm just a square. I'm a blue collar square who worked on the assembly line at Ford. I'm from Romulus, and that's where the airport is. You fly in to the city. I ain't nobody, nigga. I'm telling you, dog. I'm a square. I ain't no gangster, dog. I'm just a square.
Oh, you're from LA? What part? West Covina.
West Covina.
All right, I'll take it.
I take it.
No, that happened to me all the time when I was like just everywhere around the United States. It's like every motherfucker was never from actually LA. They were always from West Covina. And I can understand why they would do that.
Yeah, I understand if it's lazy, but also too, I understand the motherfuckers that's actually from Detroit that could get upset where they feel like you're trying to attach yourself to that reputation.
I used to feel that way, but now I'm like, now that I've like kind of grown up and then like been other places and like, I'm like, all right, I don't even trip.
That's how I feel.
Because it's like, how are you supposed to quickly explain to me, oh, well, I'm in West Covina, but it's like in LA County, but it's like 20 miles east of downtown Los Angeles along one of the many fucking freeways. No, you're from LA. Just
Cool. I feel the same. Once I got a worldview, once I got outside of those, because I bought a house in like on the west side of Detroit, right behind this Dairy Queen, at the age of 21, some fake W-2s. You know what I'm saying? I was out of my mind.
Watch episode 1 for more on that.
Watch episode 1. So I buy this house on the west side, and I'm living in the city. And in my mind, once I got into the city, I was like, oh, I'm never leaving. I don't want to go. I remember all the niggas was going to Freaknik. I was like, I ain't going to that. I'm not leaving this area. This is where I want to be at all times. And I think once I got out of that mindset, I started to get a worldview. I'm like, oh shit, niggas. It's squares and gangster motherfuckers and crazy motherfuckers like me all around the world. It's crazy motherfuckers in London. It's ghettos in London. So once I got a worldview, it didn't matter to me. You know what I'm saying? So where you from? How are we now? Because we attract what we are. I realize, like, you're crazy going out with swords and shit. I attract motherfuckers that's like me. I'm out of my mind. So I attract people that are like me no matter where they from. But I think what I'm going to start doing, and I think I have just to eliminate the laziness, is I'll be like, man, I'm from a little town just outside of Detroit.
That's actually a good way to say it.
You know what I'm saying? And then that's just, it's not me being lazy saying I'm from Detroit. It's just, hey, man, it gives you an idea geographically where I'm from, but where I'm from don't define me. But if you need to know, what are we from? Little town just outside Detroit. Nothing special. I'm just a blue collar square. You know, I ain't nobody special. Had a little bit of successes, but also got a ton of failures. I ain't nobody special. So that's kind of my narrative, because the people that are from that area that never leave, kind of like how I was, where I just didn't want to leave and I defined myself. And that's the problem that white people don't understand sometimes about us as black people. Our identity was stripped from us. You take us out of our land and all this other shit, and you got all of these laws, systematic things in place to kind of keep us down and strip us. We've been stripped of our identity. So niggas, we identify ourselves by shit that white people don't understand. Like, we'll defend a block, a street, a gang, a neighborhood, all that, because we've identified ourselves with that, because we've been stripped with anything else. Ain't no country called black.
I mean, it's the only traditional thing left in some cases. It's a generational thing where our family's from this hood. You know what I'm saying?
Our family from this hood. And it's like, when you talk to some white motherfuckers, and they're like, well, my great-granddad's from Ireland. He came over here and it's like, nigga, I don't know where the fuck my great-great-grandfather, I have no clue. So I'm going to identify myself with this block. So I understand why they defend it. So, nigga, don't be saying 7 Mile if you ain't from 7 Mile. And I'm like, the fuck does that matter, nigga? Oh, but if we've been stripped of our identity, we don't know who we are, then we'll define that area to a T. And that's why, like, I've paid for therapy for some black men before, and starting next year, I'm going to start doing it all over again, because who experiences more trauma than us? Who goes through more bullshit than us?
Same.
Like, being afraid to get pulled over by the police. Like, I remember when Keenan was here, he said something dope. He said something that really was powerful. He said when some white people get pulled over by the police, they just afraid of getting a ticket. We afraid of possibly getting shot, pulled out the whip, Like, that's a fucking trauma. And then we identify ourselves with these neighborhoods because we don't know who we are. And so I understand now why they fight for it so much, because it's like, if you don't know who you are, and especially if you don't know who you are in God, if you don't know who and whose you are, then of course you're going to define yourself by a neighborhood.
Shit, if you don't know, there's a much bigger world out there.
Dog.
Like,
that's why when niggas be all upset talking about they want to kill themselves over a female, or they crying for a month over a broad, I'm like, nigga, have you ever been to Brazil, nigga? Them bitches over there so bad. The Dominican, Cartagena, dog.
like, just go, like, yeah. It's,
Nigga, I got a cousin that's pimping full time over in the Dominican, dog. And this nigga sent me some pictures, and I don't want to go. I'm so afraid, because I'm like, these some bad bitches, man. He was like, I'm telling you, nigga, you come over here and see me. I had these hoes that had you in the hotel room for a whole week. Fucking, they gonna drain you. I was like, I don't want none. I kind of want to go just to see, but at the same time, dog, I feel like if I go out there, nigga, I'm going to come back here strung out. I'm already trying to do the semen retention and slipping up every now and then. I'm trying to live right. But if I feel like if I go see this nigga who's pimping in the Dominican, I'm going to come back an animal. Like, you seen Charlie? I ain't seen that nigga in 6 weeks. He out here. I can't go.
sounds like a good album, though. Pimping in the Dominican.
Pimping in the Dominican. I said, all my big homies, man, niggas is drug dealers, pimping. I be trying to invite these niggas to the show. Like, nah, I can't come on. I can't talk about half the shit. Then I'm still doing the shit.
You trying to get me locked up, nigga?
You trying to get me locked up? And these niggas, they don't know how to articulate themselves, well, some of them, in a way that will prevent them from indictment.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So niggas just rather not show up. I'm on the phone with my man. Nah, niggas, I can't do that shit. And some of these niggas is, you know, one of my homeboys, one of my big homies was in the YBI. It's a gang in Detroit, Young Boys Incorporated. And that nigga's in the book that was written by Butch Jones. And, you know, this nigga done seen and done it all. Like, he had his first kid when he was 14. And, dog, that whole story, get the book YBI by Butch Jones. But the nigga's in the book. And, man, I was on the phone with that nigga one night for like 8 hours and shit. Just talking about life. Like, I love this nigga. He's a big homie. But trying to get that nigga to come on this show. And so we worked it out where he basically gave me permission to write about the YBI for a TV show. So I wrote a TV show. And when I get my development deal in Jesus' name, I'm going to get the show done. And he, you know, he was one of the niggas that basically, nigga lived it. So he gave me permission to do it. But getting that nigga on camera or using his name or having him come here and sit down with me and do this, never. He was like, man, some of these niggas are still out here. You know what I'm saying? Some of these niggas, dog, they legit 60-something years old. They done did 20, 30 years. They get out, they still. He was like, man, I can't, you know, no. And then he'll tell you can use that for the show. Nigga, you can't use this. So, you know.
Right.
Most of my big homies, I can't bring these niggas here. But, you know, again, I ain't no gangster. No thug. I'm just a nigga with some stories. You know what I'm saying?
From that nice little town by the airport, right?
That town by the airport. When you fly into Detroit, you're flying into Romulus. You know what I be wishing though? Like some of these niggas that with all these comments about where I'm from, like if I could we just work it out where I could just square up with these niggas in real life. Just to see. You know what I'm saying? And I might get whooped. But I just be wanting to see.
I would be very surprised because I feel like if you're putting that much effort into it, you'll just get dog walked. Because I just feel like no real nigga is sitting there on the internet like, oh, you never remember.
Right.
You know what I'm
like
saying?
the niggas that I just told you about who I can't get on camera, them niggas don't know shit about none of this that I'm doing. Like, nigga, typing. What? Most of these niggas got flip phones. Or house phones. Like, niggas show up and, nigga, what? What's an Instagram? This niggas is... Anyway, yeah. You're right, though. If a person has time to... If I see a video that I don't like, it's very easy, though. I just click off. I don't have time to. I mean,
if it's a fly fishing video, I'd be like, all right, maybe these people got something, you know, because you know, but it's like because it's something that's like a hobby, but just
I only compliment, I only comment on shit that I'm interested in, but I don't delete a couple of them. I'll delete if it's some weird shit. You talking about my kids or something, I'll delete it. But for the most part, I leave them all up because every battery needs a positive and a negative.
True.
We walk around, we need gravity. Like, I don't want people to feel like I'm not the type of person that's going to eliminate another person's opinion. That's your opinion. It's cool. You entitled to your opinion. Just because I don't agree with your opinion, we living in a day and age now where a motherfucker, if I don't agree with Langston's opinion, then I don't want to fuck with Langston no more. He's got to have my opinion. It's fucking weird.
Extremely.
You eliminating relationships just because that person don't have the same beliefs and opinions as you. This nigga Langston walks around with swords. I don't do that shit.
Hey,
I should though.
I don't carry it in my car anymore. We've made progress.
Yeah, that's funny to the motherfucker, man. But yeah, Dad's car lot in Detroit, man. I seen a lot there. I kind of helped shape my worldview too. Like, oh shit. When I seen him make his first $1 million over there in the hood, because mostly in Detroit, it's most of the people that got car lots and shit over there, they're Arab or Hispanic. My dad was the only black dude over there who had a successful business. And I think he was the only black man over there, period, who had a business. Most of them was Middle Eastern. And I remember them coming up to the car lot acting like they was buying shit. And they stood out like a sore thumb. And I walk over to them like, I know you over here spying, Habib. Fuck you want, man. My pops was over there. He got such a great relationship with God. The Lord told him, instead of to take white shoe polish, he said he had a dream. He was like, Charlie, I had a dream. He said, I wrote in the dream, all the cars on the lot, the prices were on the windshield in big white letters with white shoe polish. And when you go up and down Michigan Avenue, all the cars don't have prices because basically Habibi will be like, my baby, that car is $8,000. Like they can change it based on.
No, right. They do. What do you call it? What we used to call it in construction, driveway estimates, where you see what they're driving and then the estimates.
Fuck, I ain't never heard of that.
Yeah,
that's legit. Driveway estimate?
Yeah, basically, that's why like we don't really like. You should always like get a flat price for people that are gonna come to your house and do work, because back in the day they just pull up. Oh, this fucker's driving like a Mercedes. Oh, this is gonna be a lot more than if.
Yeah.
You know, so it's that kind of thing where basically they kind of eyeball the place before they even give you a price. So
that's smart. It's kind of smart. It's shady as fuck, but it's real. But my pops was like, man, I'm gonna put all my prices with white shoe polish on the windshields. And he said we gotta always make sure we refresh. If it rains, redo it. And he was absolutely right. Cause for 2.5 years we struggled. We struggled there, and I was fighting with two hands. I was working at his lot and I was pursuing acting and comedy because I wanted a level of flexibility. But shit, I was so broke that me and my wife had 2 little kids, so I had to bring them to the car lot with me every day. So Andrew and Alyssa was at the car lot with me every day. They both was in diapers, and they both used to shit at the same time. And it seemed like they would shit right when a customer would walk in. So I'm like, hold on for a minute, sir, because this smell, I can't deal with it. I got to go change these diapers, and I'm going to come back to you and sell this car. So I'm there selling cars. I got 2 toddlers there with me for years. So for 2.5 years, struggled. I'm making myself available for auditions, yada, yada, yada. Me and my dad fall out. Me and this nigga fall out about some money. Because I swear he's a black Jewish dude, man. This nigga is tight with his bread. We fall out about money and get into it, and I quit. I put my kids in daycare. I get a job at Waste Management. And it's so crazy because I ended up getting fired from Waste Management. I was half showing up to work. And was trying to make myself available for auditions, which is impossible with a 9-to-5 job. So then I'm there, and I'm, problem with me is when I'm frustrated and I feel like I ain't getting my way, sometimes I act out and I'm doing other shit. So I was in the customer service, and I can remember there's other people in the office, and I'm getting instant messages from the hoes in the office. They're asking me questions and shit. And this, that, and the thirds. And I'm just, let me test some of these bitches to see what's going on. So I ain't gonna lie, man. I hit a couple of them in the parking lot. You know what I'm saying? On some dirtbag shit. I hit a couple of them in the parking lot. And I'm like, well, okay, so I'm frustrated and I'm acting out. Maybe I don't need to be working here. I end up getting fired. And it was like a blessing in disguise. And I'm confessing to my Christian accountability brothers like, man, I'm fucking off, man. I'm on the hose again, and I'm frustrated, and I'm working this job. I'm still broke, and I feel like my dad God wants me to go back to my dad's car lot and yada, yada, yada. And so basically, I ended up having a conversation with my dad after I got fired. And I went back to work with his lot. And it's like everything blew up. Because I really made a 180 from some of my behaviors and shit like that. Dog, it's like, I think I booked Chicago PD, then a commercial. Then I had a billboard in the city. And then all of a sudden, we were selling like, for a small lot that we had, we were selling 30, 40 cars a month, which was great because it was a super small lot. So now all of a sudden, the business is $1 million business. We done grossed $1 million. I'm in billboards all across the Midwest, commercials across the country. I was doing the Optima tax relief commercial even then, and then it was a 5-hour energy commercial I did, and then it was a Pepsi commercial. So I got all these commercials playing, TV shows, $1 million business. Now I'm getting more money than I'd have never made in my life. You know what I'm saying? And I moved from the house in Romulus, where the airport is, and moved from that. I was renting it from my uncle. We got a house in the family that if you down on your luck or whatever, money is tight. Me and the wife had separated. And, so I was hitting the holes in the parking lot at Waste Management. we had separated, and I was living in this little house that the family owns, and it's so dope because as long as you just give $500, you can live in this house to get on your feet. And it's been in my family. My great granddad built the house. It's been in the family since like the 30s. So I'm living in this house, and then all this money start coming in, right? And then of course, my ex-wife comes back at that point. She's like, well,
Of course.
Now I got a Benz, I got a Cutlass. I had a BMW, I had a Cutlass, I had a Tahoe. I got all these cars and shit. I'm getting all this money. Then we buy a house in Canton, just outside of the suburb in Detroit. I'm spending all this money, and it all blew up overnight, man. It would seem like overnight, but it took like 3 years. But that's one of the reasons why I came out here to LA. I can't really be bought because I've watched hard work pay off with my dad's car lot making millions, and I'm all over the city. Nigga, you can tell me a motherfucking thing, dog. I got all these cars at the crib. I'm making all this money. I got billboards and TV shows, nigga. I was kind of arrogant. And then, I came out here. We sold the house. I sold the cars and shit and moved out here, and I'm at an audition, and it's 40 other 6'3" green-eyed niggas in the audition, like for a 2-line role. That shit was unheard of, nigga. I was the man in the Midwest, nigga. I walk in the room, I'm booking all this shit. I come out here like, why is it another green-eyed nigga in here named Charles? Fucking kidding me, nigga?
That's the one thing about LA. Like, yeah, it's like a filter, and all of a sudden you're like, wait, why are all these other people?
Dog, you talking about, nigga, if you can make it in the Midwest, okay, that's cool. Shout out to you. You're going to be a big fish in a small pond. Nigga, you bring your ass out here to Cali, it was a culture. Not only was it a sticker shock, the prices and shit, it was a culture shock in the entertainment industry. I'm just like, oh, nigga, I'm not special. I got to do some shit to stand out. And then on top of all that, I wasn't doing everything. Like, nah, I'm not available for that. Like some gay role or some weird shit, I'm not available for that. So I can't be bought. A nigga that look like me, if he willing to come out here and do anything, he probably can get on a little faster. Like, oh, nigga, you willing to bend over on camera? Let's get this nigga all the money. I ain't available for that shit. I ain't available. That's just my choice. And also, too, I'm not going to do a role where a nigga kills kids and gets away with it or some weird shit. It's just, I'm not doing everything just for the bread. It's just not, dog. Right. No, I'm not available for that. I'm not available. So my journey is a little longer, and I need to be able to say what the fuck I want. So, Yeah,
it is true. The social media universe, which I'm still trying to understand why we care about what people say on Twitter, because I'm pretty sure most of them don't have jobs. So I'm like, you guys can't even afford.
Why do we
You're
care?
part of the business part of this decision anyway.
And on top of all that, why are you going back to a nigga's tweets from 2010 and judging where he was, 15, 20 years ago compared to, come on, man.
Because, we need to, it's a takedown culture by a bunch of people that don't actually fucking do anything.
Facts. Because it's the unfulfilled and insecure that are attacking the people that are actually accomplishing. Because all you do is sit at home and do this. You ain't did shit. So a motherfucker went out and won 6 Grammys and did everything and just been successful or won a bunch of Oscars. And he may have had a tweet in 2014 that was unfavorable. And your punk ass is sitting at home that ain't never did shit. And it's just like, well, can't believe that this person said this in 2014. Let's put it out and let's take him down. Because you at the crib on some weird shit. You ain't never did
Like
shit.
you haven't done some bullshit.
Like you ain't never did some shit, man.
Just no one gives a shit about you, so no one noticed.
Right. Nobody give a fuck about you. But you did some weird shit, motherfucker. You in the Walmart bathroom with a camera, taping niggas when they walk in. Fucking weirdo. But if we was to illuminate all your failures, that's what I wish we could just turn culture around. Like, if we're going to magnify the failures of the successful, let's magnify the failures of everybody.
I mean.
Let's send an email to your boss about how you was in the bathroom naked.
Give it up for Charlie Newhart. Come on.
What is the original meaning of the rainbow?
Original meaning of the rainbow.
Yeah.
Like, because it comes from, like, rain, like, when after the rain comes.
Yeah.
After the rain comes, it, like, show up, like, as a reflection.
And what's the purpose of it? Why was the rainbow created? Okay, the rainbow was created by God as his promise to the earth that he would never flood the earth with water ever again. You know what I'm saying? So now I got to cook you. You look like you scissor with your girl at night.
You're like a buff Pac-Man.
What? You fought a crackhead at Denny's last Tuesday.
you like Common with cataract.
What up? We back. What's poppin', man? I want to talk a little bit about colorism. Because 100+ years ago, I would be in the house and Langston would probably be in the field.
I would be dead.
Or dead. Nigga would rise up against his captors. With
No, I just got a smart mouth.
With a sword. You rise up against your captors with a sword and a smart mouth. And then you'll be using terms like, all y'all niggas is dying. You're like, why is this nigger calling us nigger? It's true. Like, you know, I had to create my own lane growing up, dog, because I'm light-skinned, green eyes, dog. I didn't fit in with black people in school. I didn't fit in with the whites. So, you know, and I wasn't, like, junior high, I wasn't particularly good at sports because I told you I shot on the wrong rim and shit. I didn't have a lane. I ended up getting better at sports later on, so, you know, high school and shit, but dog, I didn't have my lane in junior high. I created my own lane, which is comedy, making motherfuckers laugh, cracking jokes. But the colorism shit's real. Like, I couldn't believe my parents had me in private school up to like 5th grade. And then when I started going to public school in 5th grade, I didn't even realize I had a big forehead and wore glasses until I got to public school. Like, damn, for real? Niggas was roasting me, dog. This nigga got big ass head, man. This nigga got glasses. This nigga on the honor roll, y'all. I honestly believe some of that shit. When I got to high school, I was getting roasted so much just for being on the honor roll. I was like, fuck this. I'm going to a 2.5. And I stayed at a legit 2. Plus, I was crazy, too, after the cancer shit. So I was crazy, 1. Number 2, it was just comfortable. I just stayed at a comfortable 2.5. Just because I didn't want to get roasted. I wanted to be the one doing the roasting. But the colorism shit's real. And I found my own lane with comedy, and my mom really helped me with that because I was so bad in school after the whole cancer thing. I just got so terrible. I was a terrorist. She convinced my teachers to let me get the last 5 minutes in class to do comedy if I behaved in class. And not all of them, like out of all 5 or 6 of my teachers, maybe 3 or 4 of them did it. And then it caught on so much that we had a comedy day in the lunchroom at school. And one representative from each class, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, got to battle standing on the tables in the lunchroom. Oh, and I killed everybody. Killed everybody and won. So that's kind of what helped me calm down. But shout out to my mama, man. She went up to the school and kind of worked it out for me to be able to graduate. Like, if it wasn't for that, because I was shooting dice and shit, getting suspended, fighting and getting suspended, putting lighters up to niggas' ass in class and I was doing all type of shit. She went up to the school and finessed it like, look, give my baby 5 minutes to tell jokes. And the teachers that allowed it, I was roasting niggas up there too. It was great. So she helped me find that colorism shit's real. It's so fucking real. And people don't understand that's part of the effects of slavery and that whole Willie Lynch syndrome shit and the stuff to break us and separate us. that's the argument that I don't understand when white people's like, listen, man, Irish people were slaves too, okay? And we had to get it out of the mud too. So you guys just get over it. Like, do you understand the difference between an indentured servant and a slave? Or do you even understand that America was a garbage country? America was it was called the Americas or the colonies. So if you were in Britain, Ireland, anywhere else, you committed a crime. You either could get your prison sentence in the country that you committed the crime, or you had a chance to get sent to the Americas to work off your debt as an indentured servant. So all these pictures of Irish motherfuckers and Italian people coming over here as slaves, they came over as an indentured servant, as a fucking criminal from somewhere else. They weren't, it was totally different. And once you paid off your debt, you were free. Your children weren't born into slavery. It was no Willie Lynch syndrome and all that other shit that y'all ignorant motherfuckers don't understand. You could come here to the Americas to pay off a debt as an indentured servant. You weren't a fucking slave. Shut the fuck up with that argument. It pissed me off when I see that shit. Y'all niggas don't know your history. I got a book right here. This is not even part of it. This book is written by a white woman, just in case you want. Nancy Eisenberg. It's called White Trash, the 400-year untold history of class in America. Craig gave me this book about 2 years ago. This shit is lit. I done read it twice. This will help you understand. For all you people that don't understand the shit I'm talking about, the difference between indentured servitude and slavery, read this book. And if it makes you feel comfortable, it's written by a white lady. You need to read this book because it details the way this country was structured and why, part of the reason why blacks built this country. This is another book I got. I love this book. Dr. Claude Anderson, Black Labor, White Wealth. The Search for Power and Economic Justice. You need to understand the strategic plan that was put in place to help build this country on the backs of blacks, taking the land from Indians. It's strategic, it's systematic, and my problem is not with white people. I'm not trying to take white people's money. I don't want to garnish your wages. I'm not coming after you.
Are you sure, Charlie?
Come on, man. You're coming after my paycheck, Charlie. That's all in the comments. It's just like, I'm not giving you anything. Nigga, I ain't asking you for nothing.
You probably don't have shit.
You probably don't even have shit, motherfucker. When you get a chat.
Look, I need a dusty garden gnome. Fuck out of here.
My nigga, I don't want your 92 F-150, bro.
Well, you could probably flip it, though.
I probably could flip that motherfucker. I get it for you for free and turn it on and settle for 3 bands. They don't understand the systematic process. My problem is with the system, man. One of my favorite scriptures in the Bible is that our fight is not against flesh and blood, but it's against principalities and spiritual wickedness in high places. My problem is with a system, not with a person. Look at me, dog. I'm not all nigga. There's so much white in my family. My great-great-grandfather's half white. Great-great-grandmother, it's such a power mixture. When you go to my family reunion, it's white and black. My problem is not with a specific race. My issue is with a system and a thought process. That's what I'm saying to you. I ain't got no problem. Come on, man. You look at me and tell I ain't all black. Man, niggas don't look like me in Africa. They don't, dog. I'm just being 100, man. I'm a power mix. I'm just saying I got a problem with a system. And I'm going to try to help y'all understand the system because God gave me this dream years ago. Psalms 24:1 says, the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein. So the scripture indicates there's a difference between earth and world. We're walking on earth. You go out, you cut grass, trees fall, you know what I'm saying? Sun is out. That's the earth. But the world are systems that are in place that operate on earth. And you think about these systems, you got the system of government. You got the system of the world of entertainment. You got the system of education. You got the system of media. You got the system of business. You got these systems. These systems are worlds. And I had a dream where God's hand, it was a huge hand that he had out. And on this hand were all of these worlds. It was government, media, education. And his hand was just, God's always in control no matter what it looked like. Because if there was no Holocaust, there'd be no Israel today. So let's just be frank. It's sad what happened. It's just tragic what happened. And they still getting reparations to this day for what happened. Some of the survivors. It's a true story. I got it right here. The State Department, the U.S. State Department has paid or approved, this was 2016, 90 claims for a total of $11 million in reparations from France to former World War II prisoners who were carried in Nazi death camps in French trains. The first French reparations paid to Holocaust survivors living in the United States. So this is Holocaust survivors or their heirs. So that argument talking about, well, how you trying to find money, get money from some stuff that your ancestors appreciate? Well, these people that experienced the Holocaust, their heirs are still getting money to this day. And this was if they were transported on a train through France. If you can identify that you were on a train in France on your way to the Holocaust, and even if your great-grandfather or somebody, then you could get some money. That's to this day. So I'm just saying, if you're going to give reparations to Japanese, you're going to give reparations to Jewish people and their heirs, what does it look like for some type of check or a free college or something? And even and what about a public apology? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But at the end of the day, my fight is not against people. I got a problem with white people. I got a problem with systematic oppression that's been in place for years. People don't understand colorism. And you tell them that you would have been in the house. I would have been in the house and you would have been in the field. What's that mean? And then as you grow older, then I'm getting attacked by dark-skinned people or vice versa. Or it's light-skinned people thinking they better than other people based on how they look. And it's like, my nigga, at the end of the day, we all people. If we look at it like we human beings first, like I'm a human first. I'm a Christian first. Everything else is secondary. But to my mind, but the problem is when the world sees me, they see a nigga first. Everything else is secondary. That's why I don't like the fact that they are mixing LGBT rights and issues with black issues. It's fucking disgusting. It's different. You can look at me immediately and tell, like, that's a nigga. But I can't look at you and determine what your sexuality is. You know what I'm saying? Unless you a flaming homosexual with a purse and some high heels and shit, like, oh, that nigga's gay. But other than that, I can't tell. But honestly, too, that's something you can choose later on in life to say, I'm not that way anymore. I choose to be straight. Like you can change. I can't change being a nigga unless I go to Michael Jackson route. I'm stuck this way. You know what I'm saying? And it's not this way like it's bad, but there's no way. The arguments are different. And there's so many different things.
There's no closet to hide in optionally.
So what?
There's no closet to optionally hide in.
There's no closet to hide in. You know, because 1865 slavery ended, right? We weren't even considered citizens at all. Couldn't vote till 1870. And even still in 1870, when we were able to vote, you know how many niggas died and got hung and set on fire on their way to the polls just to vote? How does that compete? How is that the same as the LGBT argument?
I would say don't waste your breath because
it's not.
They'll never understand.
They never understand. Never understand redlining. Never understand the black codes. Like it was against the law to teach African Americans or niggas or blacks or whatever you call us. It was illegal to teach us how to read. You got fined $500 if you got caught teaching a black person how to read. Where's that in the LGBT argument? You teach a gay nigga how to read, you get a $500 fine. Can you imagine that to this day?
I mean, and even from my perspective, it's like even more of a split because it's like you have the white people that are gay or that fall under that umbrella that get to basically have all of the benefits of being part of the larger system and just have historically just been kind of quiet about it and not really had to deal with anything else. Whereas if you're a person of color who's in that same situation, your world is triple fucked. Yes. Oh my God, you a black person, you a dude, and you gay, nigga. There is no refuge for you anywhere. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, so for them, I can almost see why in some ways the struggle is a little bit harder for them to split up. Right. Because it's like it's a whole fucking thing. It's like it's multi-layered, whereas white people and, basically those that are lighter skinned, not even lighter skinned, just white people or people that have been part of the traditional power structure historically, they can just kind of quietly mend in and just decide when they want to fight.
Yeah, because at any given time, if you a gay white dude and you get pulled over by the police, you could actually pull the white card. It just, I don't know.
No, unless you're like in some situation where you're in the South and you're some very, very known northern homosexual or something like that, where they're like, oh, look who we got here, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then you might find yourself, but I mean, that's
how rare is that? The percentage.
Welcome to experiencing 0.5% of being black.
Man, you know what blows my mind is that I've actually been able, because to me, I just kind of follow the money. I've been trying to look at the situation from an economist point of view. And when I look at it from an economist point of view, not black, not white, not the green, the money point of view, now I'm beginning to understand this whole LGBT trans push on children, which I don't like it. Because I feel like if you're 18, whether I agree with it or not, if you grown and you want to make a decision with your body, gender, reaffirming and all that type of shit, you grown. You grown, whatever. But they're pushing it on children now, 12, 13, 14. My son told me the other day, he was like, Dad, one of my friends in class, my son's 12. One of my friends in class is getting breast implants next month. I said, nigga, what? He was like,
How's that even legal?
He said, some dude, nigga, getting breast implants next month. I was like, fuck. He was like, there's a lot of people in my class is trans. I was like, this is California. I was like, nigga, what the are you kidding me, bro? But the narrative's being pushed on them. But have you seen, there's a video out about this, it's this trans person who's got this huge bucket in front of him with all the medication that they take. And he was like, this is what they don't tell you. This is all the medication that I have to take to maintain being a woman. If I stop taking this, you know what I'm saying, nigga probably get Adam's apple again. His hands will grow bigger like a receiver or some shit. I don't know. But the motherfucker got to continue to take these. That's what they don't tell you and how much it costs. I'm like, oh, this is Big Farm. This is Big Farm 100,000%. And now California is in January 1st will become a safe haven for anybody that is under the age of 18 that can't get gender reaffirming surgery or take medication in other states. They can come here and various things can happen, either like temporary custody of the child to make sure that you can get the surgery or take the medication that you need. But it's wild. But now I see why. It's the money behind it. It's the surgery costs money. The medication costs money. Who gonna pay that? But who gets to keep the money? It's a Big Farm deal. So now when you see it in media, so now that I can see it from an economic standpoint, when you see media pushing this agenda on children heavily, and it's all over the place. It's not, oh, let's be aware. It's, oh, this is a way we can make money. This is a way, which is why it needs to be some medication out that can turn white people black. Can we move these niggas to Flint so you can see the whole black experience? See what it's like to get pulled over every 5 minutes for no fucking reason.
You want to say the N-word? Here you go.
Hell yeah. You want to say the N-word? Become a nigga for a year and live in Flint. And, you know, your bank account is in the negative every month. And you got to do everything to make ends meet. And you got to shovel your car out the snow. And you got a motherfucking 87 Monte Carlo that you got to jump every day. You get the whole experience, nigga. 100%. If Big Farm can figure out a way to make money on that, we should do that shit.
That's a very interesting point.
You're late. I can tell you put peanut butter on your feet before you put your shoes on in the morning. You cover your body in Crisco grease every day. Your toilet seats have Escalade cushions on them.
Hey,
I already know that.
look. I ain't about to get ripped on by a nigga that got third in a common lookalike contest, motherfucker.
If you see yourself exercising, you can lose weight. Okay. In your case, you're gonna have to do a lot of thinking, okay. All right? Oh. Think about running to that brick wall and coming back.
You look like a dry goldfish. I don't wanna hear none of this bullshit. You Simba from Lion King looking motherfucker. Get it. You ain't gonna get it. You ain't gonna get it. You ain't gonna get shit. Yeah, the fuck you looking at? You ain't got no shot. She don't like niggas with clear glasses.
Oh my God.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good, man.
Hold on.
What's the point now?
I'm connected. There's a book inside of you right now. You've had a rough life. Hold on. Spiritually, I'm sensing you saw a lot. The world needs your story, brother.
Man, how you?
Let me tell you something. I'm a fitness guru, life coach, Sandy Womack. I just see a lot. Is there any reason you haven't wrote a book yet?
I mean, I'm gonna be honest, Sandy. I've been through a lot. I probably should write a book, and I never thought about it until now. Let me take this call. Talk to my girl. I'll be right back.
We'll do.
So, what do you see in me?
We definitely got to strengthen up the ulterior.
Yeah, I need help here.
And the delt.
It's jiggly.
The delt Baxter.
Man, why the fuck you touching my girl, man?
She was just telling me about her
Who the
gluteus
fuck
area.
told you you could touch my girl?
Listen, I apologize.
I'm not trying to hear none of that, bro.
Listen, I'm gonna still help you write the book, brother. That's all that I'm gonna still help
Man,
you write that.
fuck the book.
Your ass got knocked out. That's why I should have never hired a nigga that looked like an extra in a Tyler Perry film to be my motherfucking personal trainer. You sorry son of a bitch. You ugly motherfucker. Fuck you and the pubic hair beard you walked in on, you motherfucker. You look like a bald-head Max Julian from the Mac, nigga. You ever hear that? Anybody ever call you Ron O'Neal? Ron O'Squeal, you snitch-looking motherfucker. That's why I should have never hired a nigga that looked like an extra in a Tyler Perry film to be my motherfucking personal trainer. You sorry son of a bitch. You ugly motherfucker. Fuck you and the pubic hair beard you walked in on, you motherfucker. Money back, you young Red Fox-looking motherfucker.
All of the toilet seats in your house have I can't even fucking say it.
Fuck the book.
I never thought about that.
It's fucking insane. They don't understand what we got to deal with. They don't know that the U.S. spends $81 billion a year on mass incarceration, but very little on the 600,000 people released each year. I got a son that's locked up. You know what I'm saying? The nigga was out here thugging. He was doing his thing. No matter how much I took him to church, sold into him. He was in my arms the day I got shot. I wasn't aware to put him in trauma. He made some choices. He's got to live with those choices. So it's going to make him a man. Praise God. He's protected. He's going to get out one day soon. But when he get out, this place is not set up to rehabilitate prisoners at all. It's this country is basically wants the person to return into captivity. So I started looking at other places like Singapore. This is what I heard about China. One of the reasons China is such a superpower right now is the leaders 20, 30 years ago started traveling the world and visiting other countries, figuring out what worked for them, writing it down in a notebook. And they went around the world and they found out what worked in other countries and started implementing it into China along with other things. And it probably took 20 or 30 years, but they took the best of every country, the best of every place they visited. And I really wish that we could do that in America because we're so prideful and cocky. And it is, I will say, it is a great place. I can worship freely and not be worried about being shot. You know what I'm saying? I can go get money. There are some great things about this country. I'm not negating that. But I think we could really benefit if we took that model that China did and travel around the country, see what works in other places, and do some reform based on what you've learned in this country. Like Singapore. You fuck up in Singapore big enough, they whoop your ass in public. They got to send you to prison. Can you imagine if you get caught, whatever the crime, you get caught stealing, something like that, and it's just like, all right, this is what we're going to do. You're on Instagram Live, and they pull your pants down and whoop your ass on IG Live, Facebook Live, YouTube, on the news. Your face is there, everything. You got to turn around and show your bare ass, and you get worked out. And we hear you hollering and screaming the whole nine. And then just imagine walking away from that, man, Langston, I saw you on TV last week, man, for that shit you stole, man. Nigga, you was hollering like a bitch on there, dog. How you feel? Like that level of embarrassment will have a nigga in line. We ain't got to send everybody to prison. Whoop their ass in public. Shit works in Singapore. It's got some of the lowest crime rates in the world, bro.
I remember that growing up, like some dumbass kid from America went over there and fucked around and found out. And there was a whole thing about how they were trying to get him out of getting his ass whooped. And half of America was like, no, that's what happens. You fuck around, you get your ass whooped. And they were like, it's so barbaric. It's so barbaric. And Singapore's like, we don't care. Get the stick.
Tuned this whole ass up, nigga. Imagine if that was in place here. Seems like it worked. But also, what they have in place there is like they've got a whole and look it up. Y'all niggas probably ain't, but if you look it up, they whole niggas didn't even Google who I was. They just kept putting it in. Who is this guy? Nigga, all you do is type in Google. But if you research Singapore's process, they rehab process in prison, Langston, is unreal, dog. Really? Yes, because while you're in prison, it's a psyche valve, and you're getting therapy while you're in prison.
It's your social credit rating.
Social credit rating. Exactly. This nigga's a 5. You getting a psyche. Like I talked to my son the other day. I was like, man, you getting therapy in there, bro? You know, because he got 7 years. It's like, no, hey, what do you mean? So you're getting therapy in there. And then also, while you're in therapy, they have a process to help you assess what your goals are. Got to write them down. What are your goals? And then they have a whole aftercare process upon your release. They are geared and pushed to help you become a productive member of society, regardless of the choices that you made as a criminal. Like, okay, so upon your release, you do deserve a second chance. So we're going to help you every step of the way. You got a whole, it's a whole system in place.
As opposed to here where it's just like.
Nigga, figure it out. Go see your parole officer. Get a job.
Basically.
Figure that shit out. I don't know, man. But again, it's money. That's why the whole trans thing is being pushed right now, because Big Pharma is behind it with the medication and the surgery. There's so much money in prisons, privatized prisons. It's like, it's the only part. That's why I'm kind of becoming a fan of conscious capitalism, man. Like, I do. It's a capitalist country. I like the fact that you can just go hustle and get money. But I think it should be a cap on it, because it's too many greedy weirdos and shit. So it's conscious capitalism. Let's just say you got capped at, you could only make $500 million. No, nothing beyond that. Like, once you make $10 million a year, do you really need more per year? Like, what else can you buy? Another boat? No, what the fuck? You become a weirdo at that point, because now you into shit like eating monkey brains in the Riviera.
Bullshit rockets to go into space and not do anything.
Niggas is like, I wonder how we can convert feces over into steaks and eat them. You get weird. Like, I think it should be a cap. Well, how much money you make? 500 million or whatever a year or your lifetime. And once you hit that cap, the rest of the money you make should start going into other causes for society. Prison reform, shit like that. I feel like it should be a cap on it, because it's just too much greed. It shouldn't be this number of people who hold all of the wealth and all of the land, and they're wielding that power. No, let's figure out the way we distribute it is.
Charlie, are you really going to feel like that if you're Jeff Bezos making Jeff Bezos money?
Fuck yeah. For what? I mean, what else do you need? Dog, you should be capped. And the rest of that money you make should go into other shit.
I don't know, man. That's dangerously socialist.
I love it, though.
Oh, I mean, I'm right there with you. But
yeah, but it is dangerously socialist. I get it. Because that's why I kind of feel like we should set the mark really high. I don't think it should be like niggas should be capped at $1 million or $2 million. It's not enough.
Oh, no. I mean, I think you're right. Like, if you're some crazy ass captain of industry that's pulling in, like, if you're hitting 500 million, you're not going to feel it.
At all.
Like,
what else is it to buy?
A country at that point. That's...
A country? This nigga trying to buy humans. Like, man, I want to make people. I think it should be a conscious capitalism cap, man. Like, you know what? This is enough.
Yeah, and the money that you make. How many comments are we going to have from niggas that are like, oh, that sounds crazy, while they're working at fucking McDonald's and never even going to touch anything like that?
Niggas returning carts at Walmart talking about that's crazy. Like, if you don't shut the fuck up, nigga, we're not talking to you, okay? Shit, you ain't talking to me. I ain't made 500 million.
But it's the temporarily, what do you call it? It's like how it's this mentality of Americans where they're temporarily inconvenienced millionaire. Oh yeah, I just got to get on. Just wait for me to get on. You know, everyone thinks, oh, I just got to get on, and then I'm going to be up in that upper echelon. So yeah. I don't want to put any of those restrictions, because I see myself as just a temporarily inconvenienced rich person.
And I'm going to get there. Especially as a white dude. And I understand why they walk around with so much frustration. You got all this white privilege and all these opportunities, and you broke to the motherfucker. And everybody your whole life been telling you the shit because you white. And you broke, and you living next to niggas. Yeah, I would hate myself too. I would. That's why I don't understand how you white and broke. With all these opportunities and shit, all this privilege you got out here. What the fuck you talking about, man?
Well, I mean, because, there's still 2 levels of white people.
True. Very true, dog.
That's one thing I learned very, very clearly. There's the rich ones, and there's the rich ones, and there's the ones the rich ones laugh at. You know what I'm saying?
And and I even consider them my niggas, man. I'm cool with everybody.
I mean,
White, black, Hispanic, and I guess it becomes more about class and how you see yourself as opposed to race. But shit,
I mean, the race thing is just because we need you niggas to feel better than everybody else. So we're gonna tell you that, oh, fuck those niggers over there. While meanwhile, I've got your ass in a fucking mine all day paying you shit. Not digging your ass out when the mine collapses and just not carrying out, blowing up this whole mountain, destroying this holler that your family's lived in for generations. Because I actually don't care, but fuck them niggas. Gotta look out for them niggas.
Nigga ain't shit.
Yeah, no, I've seen that because it's just I'd be laughing sometimes when I was in the Navy because I'd come across some of these people, and I'd just be like, bro, like you don't have shit.
Yeah,
like
how are you even, bro?
Like how are you even like sitting here talking shit? Like you just told me you don't have running water. like you go home, you don't have running water. Like how are you gonna fix your face to talk some shit? I'm from California. We have running water and the beach is right over there. Like what do you?
The argument and mindset of people, and then how do you find yourself breaking through those barriers, or do you even try?
I brought them to California.
Oh, okay.
Because a lot of it was because media. Media told them, this is how you think.
Wow.
This is the only images that are going to be piped into your town. This is all you're going to see. All you're going to hear about is negative shit. All you're going to see is negative shit. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, no. Let's get on this plane. Let's take you guys down to Crenshaw. We don't give a fuck about white people. We're not trying to murder you on site, nigga. Like, nobody, nah.
Right.
We're going to roll around Crenshaw on a Sunday. You're going to see all these niggas wilding out, and you're going to see they don't give a fuck about you.
Right.
Because it's not what, and so that's one of the things about media that really blew my mind was having all these people from these, I live in LA, media capital of the world, right? So I'm a little bit more resistant because we got all the races here, we got all this whole mixing pot. But you go off,
yeah.
All people get is what's on cable TV, and that shapes their whole universe.
That is very true. I will give LA credit for that, just being progressive in that arena, because I was watching Jackie Robinson's story and how him and his wife moved to Pasadena, and how it was just such a different vibe for them there compared to when they was in the South. Mm-hmm. They wasn't stared at everywhere they went, and they weren't treated. Not saying they were treated perfectly in Pasadena, but just the difference of the South and Pasadena for them was like night and day in that time frame. And it's funny because I'm running into so many older people in the entertainment industry, or just in general out here. They 40 plus like me, and they mixed race. They're white, black, and they 40 plus or 50 plus. And I'm automatically thinking like, damn, how tough would that have been for them if they was in the Midwest with that? Their parents was in the Midwest in the 50s and 60s,
Shit.
Mixed race. Compared to out here. Like, it's the first thing I think of when I meet a 55-year-old woman and she's mixed with white and black. I'm like, God damn, your parents wouldn't have survived out in Detroit or Alabama or some shit. But the fact that you're just so comfortable with this 55-year-old mixed race woman with all this confidence, like, oh shit, oh, that's because you was out here. And that's the plus side of out here. It's weird shit going on now, but for the most part, you weren't shitted on because of your differences in some parts of California.
I would say most parts of California, but there was definitely still those enclaves where
it was some pockets. Had to be.
It's still there, shit.
But I think when it comes to commerce and business is where you really see how what white people believe and how they behave when it comes time to spending their money and their time. Like in Michigan, I flipped houses in Michigan for a while. You know, I bought a house on the west side of Detroit when I was 21. Then I bought a house on the east side over by Osborne. Then I bought a house in Canton, and I bought and flipped houses, a ton of them.
Right.
So it's funny, when I got to the suburb, when I was flipping houses in Detroit, it really wasn't an issue. When I started buying houses in the suburbs, like we bought a house in Canton, just outside of Detroit, bought it, fixed it up. We put it on the market. So I would basically move my family in some of them houses. Just not all of them, but some of them. Because when you move in the house, whenever you ready to flip it, you can sell it. You don't have to wait a year. If you don't live in the house, you got to wait a year to flip it. So some of the houses I was living in, so we could flip it. So me, the wife, the kids, we living in the house while I'm fixing it. So when I turn around and sell it, I got it up on the market for sale, and it's on the market for like a week, 2 weeks, no bites. And my real estate agent, white dude, man, he gave me real game. I even say his name, man, Ken Posick. He gave me the best game. He said, look, I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to just say it. You need to turn your pictures around. When people come look at this house and they see you black, they don't want to buy it. He said, but I guarantee you, if you get rid of your pictures, you'll sell this house. I said, bet, Ken. Every time we did a showing, I took all my pictures down, right? Sold the house in 8 days. No show. I mean, out of all the showings, it was no bites for like 2 weeks. And it was a gravy-ass price. It was in Canton. They fixed up the house, no bites. He was just like, take your pictures down and watch. I swear, man, 8 days we got an offer and we sold the house. And every house we flipped after that, it was the same thing. Had a showing, let's turn the pictures down. They will not know we niggas until we show up to the closing table. And I might show up to the closing table in a do-rag and a gold chain. Like, nigga, give me my motherfucking money, nigga. Y'all done just bought for some niggas. But the way we have to play the game as black people, that's what they don't understand. Shit like that. I got to take my pictures down? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I lived it. He was so real with me, dog. Ken is white. He was 100. But at the end of the day, he wanted his money. Take your pictures down, Charlie. Bet. Every house. Every house. So now, when white motherfuckers is going to people's houses, now they're going to start picking up the pictures and shit that's turned down. Let's see. Oh, Cindy, let's go. Niggers on this house. God damn it. I knew that Monte Carlo in the garage on 24s. I fucking knew it. And it's funny because I had a Cutlass in the garage with rims and paint and all that shit. I put the car cover over that. Then I put the bikes up next to the rim so niggas couldn't see the rim. Like, I'm not putting, it's nothing in this house that's going to let you know I'm a nigga. I need your money. They don't understand that shit, dog.
Oh, wow.
They don't understand it at all. I think in closing, I'm going to just talk about how weird California is to me a little bit. I've never seen so many dog owners in my fucking life. All my neighbors here got dogs. Motherfuckers don't have kids, but it's a million ugly-ass, dumb-ass-looking dogs and shit. To me, you're a weirdo if you got more than one dog. You're a fucking weirdo. Well, you need 6 dogs for. I used to talk to this bitch years ago. This bitch was like, she was just saying she had a dog. But I would hear multiple barking in the fucking background. Like, come to find out this bitch got 5 dogs. If you a single woman over the age of 40 with no kids and you never been married, you got 5 dogs, you a weirdo. Something wrong with you. Fuck you doing with 5 dogs, bitch? You 40 something years old with no kids. You a weirdo.
I have 2.
Nigga, you a weirdo.
Sometimes up to 5.
Sometimes up to 5?
Because I foster dogs. Like
okay, in that
rescues and
case,
stuff like that.
I get that. Yeah, but fuck this charity shit you trying to make me feel all guilty about what I'm saying.
I'm not trying to make you feel weird at all. I mean, I only foster actual dogs. You'll never catch me one of those little bullshit dogs that can be carried away by a bird.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. But you fostering them. I'm talking about like you got 5 dogs that you've had for 6-7 years. They're yours. No. Foster, like, okay, I see your heart. I don't mind that. That I don't mind at all. But it's like a motherfucker that you had these same 5 dogs for 5-6 years. And your home is not like a recycle to put dogs off the street into good homes. Is what you doing? Okay, cool. But a motherfucker got 5 dogs. I'm gonna tell you what I have a real problem with is if you are in the grocery store with a dog and you not wearing sunglasses and you don't have a cane, I got a problem with you. The fuck you doing bringing that German Shepherd up in this motherfucking grocery store and you ain't got on sunglasses, bitch? You kidding me? I'm trying to buy food. Or the restaurant. Why are you in the this emotional support thing? I mean, get the fuck out of here, man.
Fun fact: I put a bitch out of my Uber once when I was driving Uber because she supposedly had a support dog, and I'm like, no, that's not a support dog. You need to get up out of my car.
Nigga.
And she's like, you can't do that. And I'm like, I'm doing it right now. Get out of my car. And I'm calling the police because you won't get out. So I need a record of this so that way you can't say I did nothing.
Straight up?
Yeah, hell yeah. It was some little annoying ass little dog that wouldn't shut up. And I'm like, that dog is, I don't care about your emotional support wannabe dog. Like, no, yeah. This is some little dog that you carry around in your purse because you think you're cute. Wow. That's what it is.
Facts.
And I'm not having that in here. Sorry.
See, I fuck with that. Get your dumb ass out of here with that fucking dog, man. And I do think, You know, I'm not against dogs. Dogs can be a man's best friend and it's good companionship. But I think back to what we talked about before, the extremist part of the game. If you only fuck with animals and not people, and you only want these one-way relationships, you're a weirdo.
Well, I'm kind of an extremist, though.
You extremist? The dogs? The fuck, nigga, you pull swords out on motherfuckers. So
I don't believe like dogs that could be carried away by birds should exist.
Yes.
Like I don't like all
Yes.
these cute little things. Like that's my extreme point. Like I'm like, why? What are you doing with this joke dog? Like that dog would not survive.
Especially
in the wild.
if, you know what I do sometimes, dog? I'm an asshole for this. I still do it to this day. If I'm walking somewhere and somebody's got this little itty bitty ass dog that's barking at me insanely, I charge at that motherfucker to watch it turn around and run with punk ass dog. What the fuck you barking at? I'll punch your dumb ass through the goalposts. Kidding me? I do that shit all the time, and it make their owners. I don't even know them. Especially if I'm just irritated, if I got a fucked up day and I'm somewhere and I'm trying to walk to my car and this motherfucker's got this little ass dog on this leash and they holding on to it because that motherfucker's trying to just run at me. I play it cool. And all of a sudden, nigga, you didn't run behind the owner. See, what the fuck do you have that dog for? Fucking dog, an eagle can come down here and scoop your shit up and snap his neck and eat this motherfucker. And I'd love to see it. Oh, Charlie's insensitive to animals. Nigga, I done got bit by dogs. Look at all the videos of niggas getting bit by dogs. Then you'll understand why some of us just don't fuck with dogs.
I know a lot of people that don't fuck with dogs just because of the fact that police, dogs have traditionally been used against us.
Nigga.
You know, people look at me crazy because I have a big ass German Shepherd. Like, why the fuck do you have a police dog? And I'm like, because this one's on my side.
You know? Facts. And you got a real dog, nigga. You got a German Shepherd dog, and that motherfucker. Let me tell you something, dog.
Like she pops her head up in the window. Niggas are like, all right, we're keeping moving.
Like, that's not the nigga to fuck with. This nigga got a German Shepherd.
And swords.
I got bit in the ass by a dog one time. I was fucking with him. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna just be 100. That's part of the reason why I have this disdain for some dogs is I damn near got my right ass cheek chewed off, nigga. I was fucking with this dog. I remember our neighbor had a dog. His name was Rusty. I used to fuck with Rusty all the time, dog. We had if a basketball or football would go over the fence, I'd jump over and get it, fuck with Rusty, and then right when he got to me, I'd jump the fence. You know what I'm saying? Or I'd throw shit at him. I was a terrorist. Told y'all, nigga, I was off. And this is in Romulus, which is right where the airport is. You flying. These hoe ass niggas. So I've been fucking with Rusty for quite some time now. And at this particular time, I'm leaning on the fence, the chain link fence. I'm leaning on it, got my ass on the fence while I'm waiting on somebody to shoot shots in the backyard, shooting basketball shots. We had a rim in the backyard. I'm leaning on the fence, dog. And this nigga Rusty gets a hold of my ass cheek. And he was a sneaky fuck because I didn't hear him. Nigga creeped up on me. This nigga tiptoed. And he's biting my ass through the chain link fence, dog. Ooh. And I'm trying to pull away. He's got a death grip on my cheeks. This nigga's drawing blood. I'm screaming. Wow. Ah! I'm screaming, I don't want none. I don't want none! Rusty tearing me apart, nigga. And I'm get in the house, man, and I'm crying and shit, dog. And I tell my dad, this nigga bust out laughing. He said, I bet you quit messing with Rusty now, won't you?
See, that's the difference, like, between, like, parents then and parents now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Parents now be like, oh, my God, that dog needs to be put down. Would just have a hopeful, not ask about any of the accountability their child might have had in the whole situation.
Fucking facts. Yeah, my dad was crazy.
That's fucking hilarious.
Bet you won't mess with Rusty.
The dog from the Sandlot.
Dog, I love that movie, man. That fucking dog, man. That was me terrorizing that nigga on a regular basis, dog. Terrorizing.
Rusty saw his opportunity. It was like, oh.
Rusty tore my ass cheek off, nigga. I thought I was gonna have to sit on the toilet crooked the rest of my life. Like, are they gonna have to amputate my ass cheek? I'm on the toilet like. Oh shit. Oh, man. All right, so on the outro, man, I want y'all to check out this TV show called Chosen. It's on Prime. Dog, it's one of the highest rated TV shows. And it's so dope because they came out with it and put it on their own app at first. It's a Christian show. It's about the life of Jesus. But it's so most Christian TV shows and movies is corny to watch. The acting is trash. Let's be 100. The acting's trash, and y'all don't want to watch it. And people be hanging in just because the message is cool, but it's like if the acting's trash, I don't care what the message is, I'm off. But this show is dope as hell, man. Check out Chosen.
Where's it at? Where can they find it?
On Amazon. Check it out on Amazon. What else we got? Reckless Sundays every first Sunday at the Laugh Factory in Long Beach. That's my show. I hire the comedians. I do some time myself. It's a great show. Laugh Factories every first Sunday. Reckless Sundays, Laugh Factory, every first Sunday. Source Academy. Check them out, man. You want to get your CDL license. There's so much money in this trucking game. $30 and up. Go to sourcetruckingacademy.com. Most of these schools is charging $8,000. This is $3,800 for your CDL. You got no credit check financing. This is a dope school. If you want to do Q&A, hit me on my email, askcharlienewhart.com. AskCharlieNewhart@gmail.com. Q&A. You got some questions, some stuff you want answered on the show, AskCharlieNewhart@gmail.com. And if you want me to do a commercial for you, that's my deal. Get ready to do one for Source Trucking, as a matter of fact, me and Langston. So if you want me to shoot a commercial for you, and we could do several things, man. We can do roasting in public at your place of business or whatever the case may be. Hit me on the same email, AskCharlieNewhart@gmail.com. And, of course, hit my IG, iamcharlienewhart. Shout out to all my real subs on YouTube. I appreciate y'all, man. Like and subscribe if you like real content. If not, just get off. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate y'all, man. The channel's growing. You can check me out on Facebook, the same, Charlie Newhart, and my website, ilovecharlienewhart.com. Appreciate y'all hanging out with a nigga. Tell everybody about me. I love y'all because I love myself.